On August 15, 1977, a radio telescope in Ohio picked up something that lasted exactly 72 seconds. It came from deep space. It matched almost exactly what scientists expect an alien signal to look like. And to this day, nobody has ever explained what it was. In the 1970s, a small group of astronomers at Ohio State University were running a project called Big Ear. It wasn't searching for planets or galaxies. It was listening for one very specific thing, a signal from another civilization. This was part of SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Big Ear itself was an unusual kind of telescope. Instead of moving like the dishes you might picture, it was fixed in place, a flat reflector the size of 3 football fields built into a hillside. As the Earth rotated, different parts of the sky drifted slowly across its field of view, almost like the universe was passing in front of a stationary eye rather than the eye searching the universe. For years, the telescope scanned the sky this way, recording data onto endless pages of dot matrix printout. Most nights, nothing unusual happened. Most nights. At 11:16 p.m. on August 15th, while no one was even watching the live feed, the telescope recorded something strange. A few days later, astronomer Jerry Ehman sat down to review the printouts, page after page of numbers representing background noise. Then he saw it. A sequence unlike anything else on the page. 6, E, Q, U, J, 5. Each character represented signal strength, and this one climbed far higher than anything around it, then faded away. Ehman grabbed a red pen, circled the sequence, and wrote a single word in the margin. Wow! That word became the name of the signal, and one of the most debated 72 seconds in the history of astronomy. Here's why this signal stood out from 40 years of background noise. First, its strength. It was roughly 30 times stronger than the normal background radiation of space, strong enough that it briefly overwhelmed the receiver. Second, its frequency, close to 1,420 megahertz, a frequency tied to neutral hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe. Scientists have long theorized that if an alien civilization wanted to send a signal anyone in the galaxy could recognize, this is the frequency they'd choose. A kind of universal marker, like choosing a number every species would understand, because every civilization capable of radio astronomy would eventually discover this exact frequency on their own. Third, and this is the part that still bothers researchers, the signal rose and fell in exactly the pattern you'd expect from a fixed point in deep space, slowly drifting through the telescope's stationary field of view as the Earth rotated beneath it. Not from something nearby. Not from something on Earth. From somewhere out there. Somewhere fixed against the background of stars. In the months that followed, Ehman and his colleagues did the obvious thing. They pointed Big Ear back at that exact same patch of sky in the constellation Sagittarius, again and again, hoping to catch the signal a second time. Nothing came. They tried again in the following years. Still nothing. Decades passed, and despite repeated attempts using increasingly sensitive equipment, the WOW signal has never repeated, not once, not anywhere close to matching its original strength. Naturally, scientists spent decades trying to find a natural explanation. The most famous attempt came in 2017, when astronomer Antonio Paris proposed that 2 previously uncatalogued comets had passed through that exact part of the sky on that exact night and that their hydrogen clouds could have produced the signal. For a moment, it looked like the mystery was finally solved. It wasn't. Just days later, Jerry Ehman, the man who discovered the signal in the first place, publicly stated he didn't believe the Comet Theory held up. Other scientists agreed. Seth Shostak of the SETI Institute pointed out something simple. Nobody had ever measured a hydrogen signal that strong coming from a comet, and comets in that part of the sky simply don't move fast enough to appear and disappear within 72 seconds. There was a deeper problem, too. A comet would have to be in a very precise position to match the signal's behavior, And when researchers checked the calculated orbits of those two comets against the date and location of the original signal, the match was far less convincing than the original paper suggested. The theory fell apart almost as quickly as it appeared. Other explanations have been proposed over the years, and each one has run into the same wall. A military or government satellite ruled out because there's no record of anything matching that frequency or trajectory in that exact location at that time. Interference from Earth, considered unlikely given the signal's clean characteristics and the direction it came from, well above the horizon and away from any obvious terrestrial source. A natural but rare astrophysical event, like a flare star possible, but nothing in that part of the sky has ever been identified as a candidate. So what does that leave us with? No satellite matched it. No earthly interference explained it. No comet fit the timing precisely enough. And despite astronomers pointing telescopes at that exact same patch of sky again and again over the following decades, the signal has never repeated. Not once. In 2020, this story gained a new chapter. Researchers reanalyzing old data from the Arecibo Observatory, looking through recordings taken between February and May of that year, found a handful of signals with strikingly similar characteristics to the original WOW signal: narrow, intense, and unexplained. Some researchers began calling them mini-WOWs. None of them were as powerful as the 1977 event, and none have been definitively explained either. But their existence suggests something important. This might not be a one-time anomaly from a single night in 1977. It might be a real, if extremely rare, category of signal that our telescopes occasionally catch glimpses of without yet understanding what produces them. To be clear, nothing here proves any of this was a message from another civilization. The honest scientific position is that the WOW signal remains unidentified, not confirmed alien, not confirmed natural. But it's worth sitting with what that actually means. For 72 seconds, in 1977, our instruments recorded something that checked nearly every box we'd expect from a deliberate signal sent by an intelligence that understood physics well enough to choose a universal frequency. If it was natural, it was an extraordinarily specific coincidence. If it wasn't, then somewhere in the direction of Sagittarius, something happened that we still don't have the means to explain, repeat, or trace back to its source. That's the strange position SETI research often finds itself in. Not loud, definitive contact. Just brief, ambiguous moments that almost fit and then go silent before we can be sure of anything. The WOW signal isn't proof of anything, but it's also never been fully closed as a case. Somewhere in the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, for 72 seconds in 1977, something sent a signal that still matches what we'd expect first contact to look like. We don't know what it was. We may never know. If you had to guess, comet, satellite, or something else, what do you think it was? Let me know in the comments.